So the first card you have for your past is the King of Cups. Yeah, I'm seeing someone who might have been trying to hide their emotions from you, actually. Sometimes this card can be a little bit sneaky, but I'm not sure if that's what I'm seeing. I think maybe they were a bit sneaky in the past, this person, but I think they might have been, I'm seeing some regret around this, actually. They might have been regretting things, but I don't think they'd realistically be able to come to you and apologise properly for something they've done, something they regret. There's something stopping them, and just because you have regret doesn't mean you take action on it, and they're not going to do that, I don't think, at this time anyway. I think whoever this is, I think they have turned a lot of things in their life around. I think when you knew them, they were very down on their life, they had a lot of problems. Some of them were brought on themselves, but I think now at this time they're a lot wiser, they're a lot more mature, but I don't think they were emotionally mature though still at this time. I think they hadn't matured fully yet at this time. They might actually be feeling a little bit afraid to approach you, actually. They were at this time anyway. I'm just looking at the ship on this card, so I think whoever this is ran away. I think they ran away from their problems. I think they might have even run away from you. And I think they thought they'd started a whole new life. And on a practical level, on a surface level, I think they did. They might have moved away to somewhere completely different, but they weren't inside of themselves. They hadn't started a new life. They were feeling this regret. They were still feeling all of these feelings. And, they were trying to push all of their feelings down out of their mind, like this king is on top of the water and he's trying to kind of get on top of his emotions. But you can't do that by hiding your emotions, running away from them. The only way you can get on top of your emotions is to face them and address them. And I don't think this person was emotionally ready or emotionally mature enough to be able to do that yet. They kind of run away. I keep on seeing that, running away. So the next card you have for your past is the Seven of Swords, yes. So this person, look at this man running away with these swords. So they've hurt other people, I think, as well. I think they've hurt some people since they hurt you, actually, since the time they're with you. There's a pattern here. So whoever this is, I think what happens is this: they start a new life and then things go wrong. And instead of facing up to things and dealing with them, they run away again. And I think they hurt people that they leave behind a lot of the time. This man's running away, obviously, with these swords, but he's left two behind and they're stuck into the ground. They're stabbing the ground. So they're stabbing whoever and whatever they've left behind. So all of the people they leave behind feel really, really hurt. That's what I'm seeing. Now, whoever this is might have thought or hoped that the people who they've left behind would move on as well and just be fine and forget about this, forget about them running away. But of course, they're not going to do that. This is still on a lot of people's minds. It's still alive in a lot of people's minds, or it was at this time. I think it still is. It's illuminated, actually, like the golden sky over this scene. You're probably not the only one who's still thinking about this person. I keep on seeing a lot of people who are hurt or have been hurt by this person. There's a tiny group of people on the left of this card at the tip of these swords. You know the swords that are pointing down? This man's holding these swords and at the points, they're pointing down toward a group of people on the left-hand side. They're in silhouette and they're tiny. You might not be able to see them. But there's a group there, and one of them's lifting up their sword. It's like they're saying, hey, you're stealing something. What are you doing? But they're too far away to kind of stop them. So a lot of people have seen this person's behaviour, and they haven't forgotten it. They really have not, even to this day. And so I think this person, unless they grow and mature emotionally, they're going to keep on doing this, running away to the next place and the next person, all of that thing. That's what I'm seeing. So the last card you have your past is the Knight of Wands. So I'm seeing that part of them probably would have liked to talk to you. Don't shudder when I say that. And I think maybe maybe they were thinking about making things up to you or something like that, or at least coming to talk to you in some way. I think they did have a lot of regrets. I am seeing a lot of regret around this. They still do have a lot of regret, I think, but I don't think they want to face up to the reality of that. I think they might have been imagining talking to you and everything going well in their kind of fantasy imaginations, kind of like they're imagining, oh, I talk to them and they say, oh, aren't you wonderful, welcome back, and all of this kind of thing. But I think when they started to think about the reality of what might actually happen, they kind of backed off and didn't contact you. They don't want to be out of control. What they're afraid of is that they're going to talk to you, or they were at this time, that they'd talk to you, come and talk to you, and you'd be really angry or upset, and then they wouldn't be in control of the situation. And of course you would have been angry or upset, of course, because they really hurt you. This knight's trying to get this horse to go where he wants it to go, but it's out of control. It's jumping up and down. And that's what this person can't face, the reality of not being able to control the situation. That's what I'm seeing here. So I don't mean to make this all about this person. I'm sorry about that, but I am seeing them. I'm seeing them here. That's why I'm talking about them. So, and I'm seeing them very, very strongly. I'm seeing some very strong feelings of regret coming from them, but they're not able to address that. So they're always going to have this regret until they actually come clean with some people and they actually come forward and they apologize and they come and admit things and they go back to things. So, but at this time, they're still not ready to do that. It might be, I think, okay, I'm just seeing this. There might be some practical reason coming up where they might feel that they have to talk to you. I just saw that. So I don't know what that practical thing might be. They might want someone's contact details, or they might want to ask you something, or they might think that you have something of theirs. I don't know. But just be aware that this person might come back to talk to you. That's what I'm seeing. They'll be afraid to, but they might think that they have to. That's what I'm seeing. So the first card you have for your present is the Eight of Wands. What I'm seeing in this card is I'm seeing traveling around, moving around to go to someone who needs you. Someone definitely needs you. I can see that. I can see that really clearly in this card. I think this might be someone who needs your practical help as well as your emotional help. They might not be very well. It might be something like that. But this is someone who you care about, and I don't think you'll mind doing this. Excuse me, but you'll probably have to change things around, change your schedule around, move things around in your life, rearrange things for you to be able to do this. There is some traveling. I am seeing traveling around this. This card could be about traveling, so you might have to drive around doing things for them or something like that. Or it might be that you're traveling to them, to see them, to help them. So if this resonates, you won't mind. I think emotionally you won't mind, because I think you do like this person, you do care about this person, and I think you're happy to help them. But practically and logistically, this is going to be a big pain for you. It's going to be really difficult for you, because you're going to have to push some other things back, some things that you'd had in your mind for a long time, you wanted to achieve, you wanted to do things, and you're like, right, at this time of the year, I'm ready to do this, I'm going to do this, and then you're going to have to put a stop to go and help this person. So that's going to be, excuse me, sorry about that. So that's annoying. This is in your present, so I don't know when this is actually happening, but there's a feeling of annoyance, frustration, all of that kind of thing, that you have to put all of these things aside for a while, but you'll pick them up again. And you will be feeling a bit stressed if you're not already around this setback, but it's just a setback. Don't worry, you're going to be able to do this. It's not like, oh, I'll never do this now. No, you will do this. You'll do these things and you'll get there. You will. And you're doing the right thing. You're doing the right thing by helping this person, and they're going to really appreciate your help. That's what I'm seeing. The next card you have for your present is the Devil. Yes, the horrible, old, ugly Devil. There are some other people, I think, who could be helping you help this person in the Eight of Wands. but they're not doing that. They could be doing everything themselves, actually, but they're not doing that. Maybe this is another family member. Maybe this is someone who is kind of shirking their responsibilities. I'm seeing you're the more dependable one here. So that can be really frustrating, actually, to be the dependable one sometimes. But that's what I'm seeing here. You are the more dependable one. That's just how it is in this situation. So, I just think that, that might be frustrating you as well, that whoever this other person is isn't stepping up. But I don't think there's a lot you can do about that, because I think you care about this person and you'd rather help them than leave it to someone who isn't as helpful or as reliable. You don't want to leave them in the hands of this other person, basically. So, the other thing I'm seeing is that I hope this is going to make sense. And I hope you're not going to be angry with me, but this is what I'm seeing in this card. I'm seeing a choice in this card, and I think it might be around money or a material object or something like that, a purchase, buying something, selling something. I can't see if this is about you making a purchase or someone wanting to make a purchase from you, buy something from you. But you might be holding on to wait for something a bit better, maybe even something bigger or more prestigious or something like that. Or it might be that you're selling something and you're waiting for a better profit or something like that. Now, if this is resonating, just be a bit careful. Again, don't be angry with me, but just be a bit careful that you're doing this for the right reasons, that you're waiting for the right reasons, that you're wanting something better for the right reasons. I'm not saying you should settle for less or you should have the worst thing or the cheapest thing or whatever. That's not what I'm saying at all. There's nothing wrong with buying the best thing or wanting the best thing. But think about your reasons for wanting more. Are they to show other people or to say, I'll show you, or look at me, I've got the better thing, or whatever this is? It might be time to just rethink this a little bit. It might backfire in some way. For example, if you're paying a lot more for something, then you can actually afford to have the most prestigious whatever it is, phone or something, just for an example. But deep down, you really could do with the extra money to save, or if you're wanting to sell something because you'll make a tiny profit, extra profit, just that little bit extra over what you'd usually make, you'd sell it and you'd be fine and you'd be very comfortable, but you're waiting for that little bit more, that kind of thing. Let go of this. Just be relaxed about this. Don't try and do things because of what other people think of you or whatever that is. That's what I'm seeing in this message. These people are chained. So whatever this is might keep you chained to it in some way, whether it's that you're paying off some debt or whether it's that you're chained to this thing that you can't sell because you're asking for too big a profit than what it's actually worth. I mean, I'm in this apartment. I'm not saying this is what you do, but I'll give you an example. I'm in an apartment, as you know, it's very noisy, and the apartment next door has been for sale for 3 years, and the person that owns it doesn't want to sell it for the price that it's worth. They're trying to sell it for a price that's inflated. They're saying, no, I only want the price that I only want this price. I only want to sell it for this. And they've had all these agents come in saying, no, it's worth that. You should sell it for that. And I know that because I've talked to all the agents. They've come past. And they've said, no, I'm not selling it for that. I don't want you. I'm going to get another agent. And they keep on employing all these new agents, property agents, to sell it. And they could never get the price that they want. Now, they could have had a tenant in there for 3 years. 3 years they had nobody in there. It was completely left with nobody there so that they could have someone give them the price that they wanted. Now, if they had a tenant in there for 3 years, they probably would have made up a lot of that, or at least someone could have come and looked at it while they had a tenant. They could have been making money off it. Very, very silly. But they were holding on to get the inflated price that they thought it was worth. And it really isn't worth that. I know that because I'm in one here. It's not worth that. So this is just an example. I'm not saying you're selling a property or whatever, but this is an example of someone holding on and losing out because they're trying to get what's on their mind that they think something's worth. They're like, no, I own this property and it's worth this. It's not worth that. No, I'm better than that. So just be very, very careful around that. That's what I'm seeing. If you're holding back on making a decision around a purchase or around selling something because of a little bit extra you're going to get or a little bit extra you're going to make, don't be chained to it on and on and on. Be free of this. Be free of this. Set money free. The only way money comes to you is if you set it free. I know that sounds really silly, but that's what I want to say around this. So set it free, make a decision and do it. Don't be chained to it like these poor people chained to this devil. The last card you have, you present, is the Ten of Pentacles. So yes, again, this card can be about slowly building up money over time, saving your money. So this is probably another message telling you to rethink something around money. Again, I'm seeing that. And also this is about freedom around money, not to be chained to money. Look at how freely these coins are floating around this card. They're floating in the air. I'm also seeing you feeling responsible for some people. Again, this might be this person in the Eight of Wands, but it might be someone else. It might be someone who you're caring for, someone who you feel responsible for. And I think this is family. Again, I'm seeing that. This old man in this card, he's looking over his family and he's watching them grow. And you see this in scenes at Christmas time, in movies and things like that. Not in my family, sadly to say, but in ideal families where the grandparents are looking and they're watching their families and they're seeing them grow and they see that as an achievement. And it's a fantastic achievement to have a happy family. It's an amazing achievement, definitely, if you can manage that. So yeah, whoever this is, whoever you're caring about and whoever you're giving shelter to, because I'm looking at this bridge and this is shelter, whoever you're giving shelter to, whoever you're caring about, whether this is this person in the Eight of Wands or whether this is someone else who you're caring for, I'm getting the feeling that this person isn't able to tell you that they appreciate you for some reason. Just know that they do appreciate you. You're sheltering them, you care about them, and they feel sheltered by you, they feel protected by you, and they appreciate you. That's what I'm seeing in this card. It's very beautiful. It's a very nice feeling. So the first card you have for your future is the Nine of Wands. So I'm just seeing you kind of retreating at this time, just going back into yourself, into your own space, probably thinking about all these things that you wanted to achieve, but you had to put aside in the Eight of Wands. Now, I was feeling a lot of frustration around this, rushing around and having to kind of put things to a halt because you had to do this. But I actually think this break is going to be good for you, or it has been good for you by this time, because I think you're going to be able to see that you weren't ready to actually do these things. You thought you were. You thought you were ready to go and achieve all these things and put them into place. Say, right, I'm going to do that, I'm going to go here, I'm going to do this. But you weren't ready. You weren't ready. And I think that time that you've had away from all of your goals and you come back to them at this time is going to force you to see them with fresh eyes. And then you're going to have better ideas, you're going to change things around, and you're going to be able to do things in a much better way. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. What is that? Some sort of car or motorbike starting up. Stop interrupting me. So, and it starts again. So, yeah, sometimes people say to me in the comments, oh, you need to edit that out. Oh, you need to stop that. Oh, you need to stop doing this. Oh, you need to cut that. I don't edit anything. I record these, but I go from the beginning to the end. I never, ever edit. I don't do anything. I want it to be exactly as I've seen here. That's just what I want to say about that. So, sorry about that once again. So yeah, I think I am seeing in this time, when I look at this card, I am seeing that you will be exhausted at this time, because I think you will have been running around after this person in the Eight of Wands. But you'll be happy that you've done that. I've seen that, because you are a caring person. But I think once you've kind of retreated, once you've kind of got everything back into order again, and you've kind of rested on it, thought about it, rearranged everything, You'll be back to start on these goals again, and you'll start them in a much better way. I think you'll start them in a much better organised way, and I think you'll get a better result. So I think it was a good thing that you had a break from this. That's what I'm seeing in that. Sorry about that noise again. The next card you have for your future is the Ace of Cups. So, okay, this will probably sound really strange, but I think someone might think that, I know this is a cliche, the one that got away. That's what's coming into my mind, the one that got away. I know you probably don't want to hear this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. This is what I'm seeing. This could be why this person who runs away all over this reading might, it might be about them. They might be thinking about you. They might see you as the one that got away. They might have even been in tears, actually, at one time over what happened, over the way things happened, over their regret as well. There are tears coming down around this beautiful golden cup. So they regret a lot of other things too, I think. They regret a lot of things. I'm actually seeing a date, some kind of special date, a birthday or an anniversary or something like that. And this is reminding them of things that happened, but I'm seeing them approaching you. I'm seeing that again. So please be careful if they do that. There's still a lot of emotional immaturity around them. So, but if they're feeling things this deeply, I'm seeing in this card, this could be the start of them growing emotionally, but I don't think they're still fully grown by the time they talk to you at this time, if this is what they're going to do. And my instincts are also telling you, they're kind of standing out and warning you to be cautious around this person. Now, I was seeing in the Knight of Wands that they were going to they might talk to you about a practical thing. So it might be that they come to you, approaching you about a practical thing, but really the other motive behind that is that they want to get closer to you. But if they're going to do that, they're going to have to admit to what they've done. That's if you want to take them back. Now, you may not, and I'm getting lots of warning signs telling me to warn you not to. Of course, it's up to you to do whatever you want, you know that. That's what I'm seeing there. I just have to tell you that's what I'm seeing. So the last card you have, your future, is the Knight of Cups. So yes, this knight's coming up to the edge of this river, and he's kind of coming to see what's there. He wants to see what's over the other side. And I think he can see what's over the other side, but he's not crossing over the other side. He's hesitating. What's over the other side is a mountain, stability, and that's what you are. Your stability to this person in the Ace of Cups. You mean stability to them. You are the more stable person in this relationship, or you were when you were with this person. You represent that to them, but stability is also scary to them. That's what I'm seeing. That's why they're hesitating. They're hesitating because of that, and they're also hesitating because they're afraid of your reaction, and they're afraid of being out of control, which is what I was seeing in the Knight of Wands again. So, again, be very, very careful. All I can say is be very careful around this. If they do approach you, be careful. You've been through so much with them and since then. And if this is all resonating, I think that, if you do open up to them again, and if you connect with them again, and if you do get back together with them again, or even if you see them as a friend again, you'll always have in the back of your mind, will they get up and run away again? Will they stay again? At any second, they might get up and run away. You'll always have that in the back of your mind. So just think about that. I mean, no one wants to live their lives feeling like that all the time. Now, I sound like I'm really negative. You might want them back. You might not. But if you do, really think about what I'm saying. And I don't want to be negative again. I don't want to warn you of anyone. But I feel that I have to, because that's what I'm seeing. So just think about that, please.